Do I have your attention? Do I have your attention? Good. Hey everyone. This video is probably going to be a little shorter than usual, but remember fidget spinners? Yeah, I do. Those things were awesome. I mean, they still are awesome. I don't want to say were. They're still around. They still exist, but people don't really care anymore. For example, this chart shows that they peaked in popularity in late 2016 and early 2017, but their popularity fizzled pretty quickly. This nobody died 200 years ago, and he's 6 times as popular as these things are right now. I want to revisit them. We've gotten trends similar to them since then, but fidget spinners are 2017. In part because it peaked higher in popularity than almost anything else ever, except I don't know, Hawk Tua. Is that still funny? Sorry about that. My Ghost Rider just woke up from a 2-year coma, and I'm only just now seeing the script. Also, I don't have a regular spinner. The only one I have anymore is this one with poppets built into it, so I hope that doesn't get any fidget spinner purists too mad. Like I mentioned before, the year is technically 2016, but for all purposes it's 2017, and fidget spinners just hit the market. I guess they were initially meant as sort of therapeutic tools for people with ADHD and autism. I don't have either of those disorders, so I'm not going to claim anything, but it makes sense. They're called fidget spinners for a reason, and I remember that being a big part of the marketing around them. Even though they were designed for people with disorders, as you might have guessed, they ended up reaching way further, and it sort of became the toy at the time. At one point, they took up 20% of the entire market share of toys, but if you were there, it doesn't really take a chart to know how popular they were. It didn't really matter who you were. Everyone wanted a fidget spinner, and everyone wanted to be with other people who had fidget spinners. If you were in really any level of school during this time period, these things were your ticket to being one of the cool kids. Maybe one of the cool adults too. I don't know what 29-year-olds were doing back in 2017. Probably, playing early 2000s pop punk on their drive to work. But yeah, having a fidget spinner made you a cool kid. Unless you had an orange one. My school did not take kindly to those with orange spinners. You probably remember what color you had. If you had an orange one, you were a fucking freak. I had a couple over the years, but my main one was yellow, and it's not because I have a piss fetish, that's not why. Obviously, there were the standard yellow and red ones, and those were the ones me and all my friends had because they were the cheapest and we were children and we had no money, but there were a bunch of others. There were ones with gears implemented into them that were cool as hell. I would have done unbelievable things for ones like these back in the day. I also always liked how if you spun them fast enough, they would look like they were spinning the opposite way. There's definitely a name for that phenomenon. I don't know what it is though. I remember distinctly that one of the administrators at my school was considering banning them, but I took care of him, so it ended up not being an issue. This massive level of popularity wasn't super surprising though. Why wouldn't you want to have one of these things? There's so many things you can do with them. You can spin them. Part of the reason they got so popular was the content around it. Obviously, popular YouTubers influenced kids to do things. If 2016 Dan TDM told me to light my house on fire, I would. If 2016 Logan Paul told me to film a guy in the forest, I would. Top 10 Farts creator Jacksfilms made a video called Pro Fidget Spinner Tricks where he marketed all these tricks as only for professionals, but they all ended up being really easy or just not working, and he ended up just throwing all of them in the trash, and 45,000 people got mad, but comments are disabled now, so I have no clue what people were saying. A bid trend was trying to spin the fidget spinners for 24 hours. So many bid creators were trying to do this. This was the start of the era where endurance challenges started becoming really popular on YouTube, and fidget spinners were the hottest trend at the time, so yeah, let's spin it for 24 hours. One of these being Mr. Beast before he went insane. This was when he was in that era where he would do these endurance challenges. This video of his where he put a fidget spinner to his face and did a bunch of challenges with them is one of them, and I'm pretty sure this was the first one of his I ever watched. He had a video where he tried to spin it for 24 hours straight, and I'm pretty sure that was one of his first big viral videos. Spoiler alert, he was not successful. He fell asleep 12 hours in. Kwebbelkop did the same thing. Spoiler alert, he also didn't. He just looped the same video for 24 hours. Maybe there's a reason he went to AI. Lispy Jimmy, the GTA stammer, also streamed himself doing this. Sorry, he reformed himself, sorry. Lispy Jimmy, the Fortnite stammer, also streamed himself doing this. Once again, he did not spin it for 24 hours straight. He dropped it multiple times. I'm starting to notice a trend. And yeah, hear me out on this. Fidget spinners were kind of just the physical version of brain rot. You can't tell me this isn't equivalent to Skibbity Toilet, which is portable and from 2017. People reacted to fidget spinners the same way they reacted to fucking Stitch 7, thinking that these were gonna be the downfall of civilization or something. Again, fidget spinners are still around. You can still buy them, but they're not a phenomenon anymore. But man, I wish they still were. They were awesome. You can call this video the losing team in a shutout because it didn't really have a point. But yeah, if you enjoyed, consider checking out some of my other stuff and maybe subscribing. And also maybe check out my Twitch. I'm live there sometimes. Anyway, I've been Zwoulth. Zwoulth. Bye.